is just an incredible Tuesday with Justin. Let's do it, man. Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's do the thing.
Get into this shit, man. Let's go. Good evening. Last minute betting. Bob and Mike are bringing you your quick fix for sports betting. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company in the universe. That's right. And I would be remiss if I didn't show you OddsJam, the shop, folks, with all these great items. Shop.oddsjam.com. The t-shirt, the trucker, the mug, otherwise known as the OddsJam morning coffee cup, the tumbler, the bikini, the business zip, the notebook, and the hoodie, along with Slop Shop. Yes, the No Big Deal shirt, Broke Even shirt, Feels Right shirt, and the Buddy hat, all at shop.oddsjam.com. And that is my little intro right there. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening to you, Bob.
And I have to pull something up here. You got to bear with me just a second, boys.
All right. I guess.
Tony just sent this. We got the Farmers tournament this weekend. Torrey Pines got to share this. Here is what the golf gurus are on. We've got Schauffele, Morikawa, Oberg, Bradley, Hogyard, and Ryder for outrights. By the way, 2 tournaments in a row where a very juiced, well, I shouldn't say juiced. Let's just put it this way. An amateur just won a tournament for the first time in who knows how long. Odds are really good, so we're rooting for Ryder at plus 13,000. Schauffele and Hogyard, top 5. Homa and M, top 10. And Oberg, Finau, Cole, Zalatoris, List, and Ryder, top 20s. That's it for your Farmers. Open.
Awesome.
So I had to pass that along to you.
Well,
all
let me
there.
pass along the fact that last night, man, we had it. We had our parlay. It came down to the Los Angeles Kings, who made us stay up for nothing. We ended up going into a shootout and they lost. That was terrible. Man, talk about a bad beat. That's what that was. Real quick, gentlemen, while we got some people in here, I'm going to jump over to the Positive EV page and see if we can hit some bets here last minute on the EV page.
Okay.
Right.
While you're talking here, Justin, I want to know.
While you're clearing your throat.
How are you, like you do? How often did you don't want to get into a verbal warfare with me? Do you really? Justin, I got to ask you, since Mike's on the Positive EV page here, you know, how often are you going to the EV page a day?
Oh, at least 4 times for like 30 minutes a day. I mean, I get up, I check very late at night, I check early morning, I check lunchtime, and then I check around this hour when sports are about to kick off. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot, but yeah, in Canada, we don't have a ton of sports books, but yeah, I'm actually curious. After this stream, I'm going to go check to see if we did get Caesars here, because if we did, I'm jumping on that 100%. So
yeah.
Okay.
Now we got tons of action right now. Especially looks like a couple of plays on Fliff. I'm going to jump into Jamal Murray under 7.5 assists at minus 120. A lot of people can use Fliff. So those of you on Fliff, let's jump on that right now. Very, very incredible value, Justin.
yeah, I was looking at that one. I like it.
Yeah.
It was a small unit play for me, but I think it can hit.
I don't mind. I like the Siakam play a lot, over 5.5 rebounds, even against Denver. I still like Siakam to hit this number. You can tell we've got really good value on it. Getting it at minus 110 everywhere is pretty well favoring it. So that's good. That's good news.
No Tyrese Halliburton today, right?
Yeah, I think he's out.
Yeah, so I really like that one.
Yep. And then we got some lower percentage plays we will jump into. I know a lot of people like to stay on 2% or above. I will dabble in a little lower. Speaking of dabble, there are some plays on dabble right now. There's one play, there's two plays right off the bat. So,
well, the only thing I can tell you is if you're not dabbling and dabble, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
There are. Let me explain to you how this is going to work. There are a ton of push opportunities, and last night, out of 5 pick, 2 push, but the other 3 won, and I made 6 times my stake. So what can I say? And yeah, Tony, we know cash the Bearcats, whatever.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. By the way, I put some money on that last night, and that cashed pretty easily. So thank you for that one.
Yeah,
yeah. Yep. Man, that parlay though, Tony, very bummed out to come down to that. Ends up going to a shootout. Darn it.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo under 2.5 assists. You're getting plus 100 on that. That's really good value right now. You've got a lot of books favoring this, DraftKings and BetMGM in particular. Looks like PointsBet's evenly priced on it. Hot streak. Looks like they've got it favored. For whatever reason, we're getting plus odds on this under. You can see a couple of books do favor the over, but they don't allow us to even get plus odds on the under. So I'm going to roll with that one as well. That's on ESPN Bet. Looks like there's some value on there right now. As you can see, that Lakers first half team total number. Don't dislike this either, honestly, at plus 105. I think it's going to be close to around there. But this Clippers team, very, very scrappy defensively. So I think we can expect them to slow the Lakers down, and it's good value.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if there's anything else out here while we're on here.
Okay.
Just gotta check here, man. Got to get some bets in here. That Zion play, which is on ESPN Bet, is still up. Looks like at plus 150. That's over 5.5 assists. If you expect Zion to hit that number, they are playing the Jazz tonight, so probably some good news there. Obviously Zion's going to flirt around that number anyway. So
I was actually able to get it at 4.5.
Oh, nice. I like that a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think you can still do the 5.5.
I'm going to sprinkle on the 5. I'm going to go a little less than the recommended bet size on that, but I do think it's worth taking the 5.5. Obviously, your 4.5 is out incredible number. I mean, you are just incredible, right? So
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, you're finding some edges, no doubt about it. I mean, that's a whole point difference in what I'm getting it at. But the plus 150 is nice, so we'll sprinkle on that. I think that's all.
So sorry, that was the benefit of the 5.5 is the plus odds.
Exactly. Yep. Definitely would have liked the 4.5. Would have put a lot more on that if I must have missed the freaking boat, man.
Yeah. Well, I got it like last night, so.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm, right? I mean, I'll take what's left of some of the worms that nobody wants to finish every once in a while,
As the worm turns. Stephen Batza, here he goes. Parlay. Now we're going puck line. Rangers minus 1.5, Oilers minus 1.5, Wild money line. You know what? That might not be too bad. Definitely like I
definitely like the Rangers after San Jose screwed us last night in our parlay and won in a shootout. They're going to be tired. Rangers are going to smoke them tonight, I think. So I definitely like that. And the Rangers lost 2 out of their last 3. So they're, they beat Anaheim the other night. So they're going to want to get back on track.
Non-parlay tonight, he says.
Okay. Well, I love the Rangers -1.5.
Okay, but I love the Oilers -1.5.
The question is, what are you getting that at?
I don't know. And look, oh, broken JJ. He wants to know what the parlay.
We don't have one yet. Steven gave us some bets right there that he's on tonight. Rangers -1.5, Oilers -1.5, wild money line. He's not parlaying them. He's straight betting them. But a parlay tonight, let's cook one up.
We will here in just a second, Mike. I got to get, we got to guess. I got to get him in here a little bit. He wants to talk a little championship game Sunday talk, man. He wants to get a little of that in there. He's ready to roll. He's ready to roll.
Whenever you guys are.
I just want you to know that Tony is on the Ravens. Okay. So that's there for whatever it's worth. Tony's on the Ravens.
Hey, very quickly though, I think Tony was also saying he was on Nebraska tonight. Was he on the -3.5 or the money line?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him that.
Let us know whenever you get a second, Tony. I'm interested in tailing that one.
Yeah.
You can actually get the Chiefs at +4 in a couple of books. Circa and Bet Rivers. Okay.
What value you getting that at? Oh, -110.
-110. Normal juice. And you can actually get the +3.5 at -105 on BetMGM and FanDuel. So there you go. -110 normal juice. If you want +4. Justin, what's your thoughts on this game?
Okay. Thank you, Tony. I know it's a really tough game for me to predict, but I've thought it over a couple of days. I'm going with the Chiefs because I said this earlier this season. It's like the Ravens, they have been doing absolutely phenomenal this year. I would say this is the best they've looked in a long time. But I'd even say they've looked even better than they were in the 2019 season. But I just think when Mark Andrews went down, I said that is going to really hurt them in their playoff run, because there's going to come times where they're going to need to be clutch. And Mark Andrews was always their guy when they needed a big play or a big time catch.
He's coming back.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's going to. From all indications, he's playing Sunday, right, Mike?
As far as I know. I mean, it's definitely not a guarantee he's out. I don't know that it's a guarantee he's in, but that's definitely going to be a factor.
Well, even if he is,
and Humphrey too.
Yeah,
that'll be a big one. Marlon Humphrey, if he's in or out, that's going to be a big one for them.
And even if he is in, though, I mean, because didn't he was it tore his? That wasn't his Achilles. He would have been out way longer.
It was an ankle injury.
Right. Well, okay, regardless, even if he is in, I just feel like the Ravens have got through more injuries than people think. I mean, with those injuries, they have done outstanding, with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and Odell Beckham Jr. But I just feel like they're going to need more, and I feel like it's just not going to be enough. And so that's why I
want to tell you right now, Andrews practiced in full pads at the end of last week.
Oh, wow.
The Ravens decided not to activate him for the Texans game. So he suffered a cracked fibula and ligament damage to his right ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't need Marlon Humphrey for the game against Houston. This game, a little different. That's a piece they could really, really use. And if he is in fact not going to play, that's a big blow for the Ravens. It really is. And with Mark Andrews coming back, again, you don't know how effective he'll be. I get his presence out there is one thing, but
it's more than that, Mike.
It's gonna be interesting.
He sped up his recovery. He used a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. His girlfriend's family had one, and it actually sped up the healing process. So he was in one of them oxygen chambers that you lock yourself up in, that you saw in the science fiction movies years ago when I was young.
That is interesting. But
It is.
regardless, I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
I am too. Plus, if you can get the Chiefs +4 at -110, why would you not do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're with me. You know what? Isn't it amazing? Patrick Mahomes has been in the league 6 seasons and has been to 6 AFC championship games in a row.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah. And I know you disagreed with me yesterday, Bob, but I still believe if Patrick Mahomes pulls it off again, I think we got to be talking about him as a top 2 or 3 quarterback of all time, because I know you may disagree with me, but like the difficulty, in my opinion, he's had to go through. And if
I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I mean, look, that's and especially in an era where there's a lot of, I mean, look, we just lost one of the arguable GOATs, Tom Brady, retiring. So he's this era of quarterback play is better than any we've ever seen, So look, I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, we thought the Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger era was great, right? I mean, they were great, but this era is looking pretty good too with a Patrick Mahomes there, and a Josh Allen, who I get has had his struggles, but I mean, without Patrick Mahomes around, Josh Allen's probably won a Super Bowl, right? So.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow, and the list goes on.
Yeah, guy's been to a Super Bowl. I mean, you got a lot of different quarterbacks in this era that have been to Super Bowls. Joe Montana, when he was playing, he was basically the only guy practically that had that experience, because the Niners, when he was quarterback, they did win every year, and the quarterback play around the league, not as good, not even close. So.
It's a different era. They played defense.
Look, I'm not taking nothing away from Joe Montana. Joe Montana's great.
Defense. They didn't have guys running around in the backfield. You weren't allowed to do that, okay? Where a guy leaves the line of scrimmage and he's running.
Let me ask you this: if Joe Montana
lost the ball, there were much more rules back then. The game is opened up.
If Joe Montana lost Jerry Rice, would he be able to win a Super Bowl? Because remember, Patrick Mahomes just lost Tyreek Hill and was able to win a Super Bowl despite losing him. Joe Montana would probably not win a Super Bowl, and vice versa. Jerry Rice wouldn't have won one without him.
Let me ask you this: his last Super Bowl that he won against the Bengals, Joe Montana won.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. We're going old school here. Well, that he won. What are they at the 20-yard line starting off this drive, or the 15? And this is what Joe Cool. This is Joe friggin' Cool says to the guys. Hey, isn't that John Candy up in the stands? You want to talk about relaxing a team? I don't give a shit who you are. That's Joe Cool, and he's the greatest in my
life. That right there showed you this guy could never lose.
And guess who caught the game-winning touchdown pass?
I'm sure.
Guess who caught it?
Dwight Clark.
Jerry Rice.
We lost like 5 viewers after you started talking about the 80s.
It was John Taylor.
Oh, okay. I was thinking a different Super Bowl.
So let's go to the San Francisco-Detroit game. Justin, what are you thinking there?
I like the Lions.
Ooh, to win or to cover? Both. Okay, right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, real wow.
Talk to me here. Talk to me, Justin. Convince me.
I mean, it just might be. It might be tunnel vision. It might be bias because I don't want the 49ers to win. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Lions, but. We've seen Dan Campbell. He is always, whenever he's had a game plan, he is more often than not executed. And I mean, the Green Bay Packers gave them all they can handle. They know the Green Bay Packers well. You don't think they're going to, in the film room, they're not going to dissect, okay, how the Packers were able to pull this off and, get a game plan for themselves. Like, all right, how can we interpret that for us?
Okay.
And hey, the Lions are a better team. I think they can. And I mean, granted, it was rainy, tough weather conditions. San Fran and the California boys do not play well in tough weather. But I've also seen Brock Purdy not be as clutch in the biggest moments. So I'm taking the Lions, but I could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna roll with it.
All
let
right.
me
Real quick comments here. Knicks money line tonight, Mike. You like that?
Yeah, I like Knicks money line.
And what about Brooklyn tonight?
The Brooklyn Nets, or is he?
Yeah.
Who are they playing again?
That's who they're playing.
So
the Knicks.
Okay. Maybe
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Maybe-
So Dan Cona's opposite of us.
That's a
Yeah,
once,
I mean,
that's a once a consensus pick. So we got to give one before we head off the show.
we will.
Go ahead, Mike, and respond to
No,
what.
Well, here's my worry. Number one is they just had that game against Green Bay where everything went the way it should have for Green Bay to win that game, but they didn't. So San Fran can look at that and say, hey, we're not going to play that same type of game. We're not going to be as sloppy and as bad as we were. The other thing that worries me is Goff. He's not going to be able. I mean, if that defense starts getting to him, he can't get out of the pocket like Love can and improvise and move. That worries me if that defense is locked in. And then the fact that Detroit's defense, I don't know how much I trust them, to be honest with you. They've not been a great defense. I'm rooting like heck for the Lions. I just feel like, San Francisco got the game out of the way they probably should have lost. Now it feels like destiny. Like, they're at home again.
Mike, there's another point that you brought up the other day that you didn't just touch on, and that is the 49ers are very familiar with Jared Goff.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they are, but again, a quarterback like him, they're gonna be able to have some success with because they can't move around like a Love, like a Mahomes type, a Lamar Jackson, that makes it a lot harder. Jared Goff's purely a pocket passer. Can he move a little bit? Sure. He's not an awful runner. I mean, he can, but against that defense, probably not going to go so well. But I'm rooting for Detroit. So it's like, what do? Do I bet on Detroit, who I'm rooting for, and then they lose, and I'm going to be like, I should have known. Why did I not hammer San Fran? So it's a tough spot to be in.
The line was 7.5. It's now 7. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens. 7.5, I thought was too much. One thing that you're not going to see is you're not going to see Brock Purdy, as he's gone back to pass, wipe his hand on his towel,
Right?
dry his hand so he can grip the ball. Okay, so if we have that, Goff's going to be in trouble too. Okay, if it rains like it did the other day, they're going to be in trouble. And here's the one thing that I think changes everything for both teams in the fourth quarter. Christian McCaffrey he's unstoppable. Okay. Once he wears that defensive line down, McCaffrey can take over a game in the fourth quarter. Now, not to take anything away from Montgomery and Gibbs, two really good players, and Gibbs can break it at any time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what? Let's go with that. Nuggets money line should be a lock.
Yeah, actually, one of my biggest sources, he actually said the same thing. Nuggets was a lock tonight.
Okay. Now, check this out. Tony's got a heck of an idea here. Ravens money line and Lions plus 10.5 alternate spread parlay. That's interesting, but I don't think the Ravens are winning. So,
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Ravens. I want them to win really badly, but I just
all right.
I don't know.
I got to talk to you two about this. Jim Harbaugh, the word is that his wife is going with him to this second interview with the Chargers, meaning that it's looking like it's a lock that Jim Harbaugh may be your Mike. And by the way, folks, Mike and Justin are both Chargers fans. There you go. Looks like he's going to be your next coach, guys. And Justin, I'm going to let you go first. Thoughts on this idea? I think it's a great hire for them.
You guys may think I'm crazy, but I actually don't want him.
Why?
Well, I wanted Belichick. I mean, I think if we get Harbaugh, he can absolutely go in there and change the culture of this team. I'd say it's more likely.
Harbaugh's a quarterback guy. Belichick is not.
Yeah,
Harbaugh's an offensive guy.
Well, I feel like our team would have been a better fit for a guy like Bill Belichick because we actually are loaded on defense, but we just never had the schematics to be able to get that defense into the top 10 stratosphere. So I feel like Belichick would have had the perfect recipe for that, and then Justin Herbert could hold his own. But I feel like with Harbaugh, he was, college coach, now coming back after being all the years in college. The college is a different game, so.
Yeah, but hold on. He took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and they got there with defense.
Yeah.
Okay? Michigan just won the national championship. One of the reasons why was their defense. So,
I mean, I'll take Harbaugh over anybody else. I really wanted Belichick though. But
Mike is gonna jump in and be a pro Harbaugh guy here, right?
Okay.
I mean, I understand why Bill Belichick too, one of the greatest coaches of all time. I think what they need though is a guy that can help Herbert immediately. And there is one thing with Herbert that we have seen is it's not like he's taken major steps backwards, but he's really not clutch and making the right throws and the right plays in big moments. And Harbaugh is a guy who I think could come in and make an immediate impact and clean that all up. The defense, as much talent as they had, and schematically, you're right, it's been awful. I mean, Staley was a joke, but even before Staley, we got a lot of guys on that defense who really, they haven't done a lot. They've not been available. They've had Derwin James, Joey Bosa. They've had injury problems. When they are there, their impact, I mean, it's been okay, but I can find a lot of other guys on other winning teams that have big impact guys, maybe just not quite the name. So, I feel like you got to roll with what's the best thing the Chargers have going for them? Justin Herbert, a quarterback. It's a quarterback league. We just talked about him potentially being a guy that could be a top 5 quarterback in this league. Somebody's got to come in and get him there now before it's too late. And Harbaugh is probably the only guy that could do that.
And Mike, let's go back to what you were talking to me about earlier. Harbaugh had Andrew Luck at Stanford.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he
had
very
Colin
similar to Herbert.
He had Colin Kaepernick within a play of winning the Super Bowl in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he's going to have Justin Herbert. Jim Harbaugh is a former quarterback.
Yeah.
He was a really good quarterback. All right.
Yeah, he's a very good coach too. He knows that. And Andrew Luck's, the reason I used him is because he's very similar to Justin Herbert. Big guy. Andrew Luck ran a little bit more, probably a lot more than Herbert, but he wasn't known for his run. I mean, Luck would stand in the pocket and pick you apart. That's what he wanted to do.
I think Herbert should run more. That's my opinion.
Well, and maybe Harbaugh will bring.
What do you think, Justin? Do you think he should run more? I really do. He's got the physique. Here's the thing.
But he's not Josh Allen. He's not going to run you over.
That's the problem, yeah.
Yeah, he may look like him. He's not.
He's not tough like him.
No, not even close. No, and I don't think he's quite as. I don't think he's quite as
No,
big
he's
as
not
now.
big. No.
Well, he played most of the season last season with a broken rib. I mean,
True.
I think that's pretty tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're right. No doubt that Herbert is he is a tough guy, but running like Josh Allen's not his thing for sure. But what he needs to do, I do agree. I think he needs to utilize his legs a little bit more because there's opportunities there, and that's what Andrew Luck would do.
You're probably going to see plays along those lines too. Let me tell you one other thing, Justin. This is another reason why you should like Jim Harbaugh as your head football coach. He can help rebuild and build an offensive line that can protect his quarterback. That's extremely important because Justin Herbert, I think, is a little bit injury prone. I mean, just a little bit. Sorry,
I think that's the fault, but that's not the cracked ribs. You can't do nothing there, man. That's just your offensive line can't protect you, and a guy got to just light you up and
fix the offensive line.
That's what you got to do.
So
you got to fix the line.
I mean,
you ready for Jim Harbaugh now?
Well, I get what you're saying. I just feel like the Chargers have just gotten so many coaches. We all were saying the same thing. Like we got Staley. We're like, oh, we're gonna have a great defense now, and like win. And so it all went to crap. And so that's what I just worried about. I just feel like if we got Belichick, I'd feel a lot more confident. But I get what you're saying, though. It's like go with your best thing first. Go with Herbert first, and then work on the rest of the stuff. But
Belichick's going to Atlanta, boys.
I don't want him to, though. I don't want. I think
you know what? I think the game is passing him by.
I mean, the last few coaches that the Chargers have had, Anthony Lynn, Mike McCoy, Brandon Staley, guys that just you got to go for a name. Harbaugh, Belichick, one of the two. I'm fine with either or, truthfully, because at least they're going for a name and not taking a chance on a guy. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, the last head coach had at least had enough sense to get him in the playoffs. And I didn't really like the guy, but North Turner, at least he got him to the playoffs. They had their issues, but by golly, they got to the playoffs and they were competitive, under North Turner, and then obviously Schottenheimer before that. But yeah, Chargers need a name coach that's not gonna and no idiot GM either.
All right, let's go to another coaching change or firing. Adrian Wilson let go by the Bucks after 43 games. Yeah. You think Giannis had anything to do with that?
Or Dame? Yeah, I would say somebody had something to say, and
yeah. I actually did not hear about that. So
yes, it's kind of surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I kind of had a feeling this, I think that there's somebody probably specific that, and I know they're going with an interim guy now, but there's got to be something specific.
Guys, they're 30-13.
I get it.
They have the same record as Minnesota, which everybody's been all over. They're 30-13. Only 3.5 games behind the Celtics. You're firing this guy?
They're eyeing Doc Rivers. That's why. I mean,
you really think so?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Tony, I know that. I gave him the picks earlier.
There's somebody specific they wanted. That's what it is. They don't think. Hey,
really?
I don't know. Honestly, wow. I think the Bucks can pull through without that guy, to be honest. I mean, they got plenty of talent. I'm not too worried about them.
No, I know. I just don't think it's fair to the coach. I mean, 43 games in, and you got the second best record in all the NBA. Mm-hmm. And you're fired? You're right, Mike. This is like a soap opera here. I'm interested in what's going to happen. as the world turns, or as the NBA turns, or as the Bucks turn. Who knows? All right, guys, great show. A lot of information, a lot of fun, and you guys get to talk about the San Diego Chargers. Yes, they're still the San Diego Chargers. They'll never be the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, well,
Never. San Diego, baby.
at least we got a better stadium.
Yeah, but it's not theirs.
That's true. Yeah.
We're paying rent. All right.
It's in rent, though. Yeah.
It's that crunky dude.
Sure.
Guy that I can't stand.
He's nice enough to let us stay.
Yeah, whatever. See you, folks.
Yeah.
He's like family to